Hey guys, Mike from Nerd Problems Gaming here, and welcome to Nerd Problems Gaming, the channel where we go through the good and bad of everything nerdy to make sure you spend your time on the best of the best. In today's video, I'll be talking about the best pinball video game ever, so stay tuned. So in my mind, when it comes to pinball video games, I know there's kind of a lot to be desired, right? There's not, in my opinion, a lot of great ones out there, but in my mind, when it comes to the top pinball games, the best pinball games out there, there's really two that come to mind. One is Pokemon Pinball, and the other one is Sonic Spinball. In today's video, I'll be talking about Sonic Spinball, why I like it, why I think it's one of the best pinball video games out there, and so let's get into it. So the first thing to understand is that if you are looking for like a realistic pinball game, this is probably not it. But at the same time, I think that a lot of pinball video games kind of leave a lot to be desired, that they're pretty simplistic. Sure, it might be like you're actually playing pinball, but there's a lot more that you can do with a pinball video game than just playing pinball, right? And so that's what I think Sonic Spinball really does a good job of, is that it kind of takes a pinball game as its base and then turns it into something that's a lot more. And so the first thing that you're definitely going to notice is that you actually play as Sonic, right? As the pinball, right? So he's the ball that you're shooting around the stage as the pinball. And so this actually creates kind of a pretty unique dynamic as you're playing the game, because you can actually somewhat control Sonic, which is pretty cool. And so to my knowledge, I don't really think that there's any other pinball games out there like this where you can have an influence on the ball with the joystick, right? So if you're up in the air, you could go left, you could go right, and then it's actually going to move while you're hitting it. So it could be mid-shot, and then you can move it a little bit. So that creates a pretty cool dynamic where you can, again, adjust the ball as it lands as you're playing. You can kind of slow it down. So if you didn't want it to go down the hole, you know, flip up the paddle, hold it back a little bit, and Sonic will kind of move to the right, for example, and then you can keep it on that paddle and then hit it as well. So that's pretty cool. I've never really found a pinball game like that where you can control the ball kind of mid-play as well, which is pretty neat. On top of that, there's really long stages. You know, most pinball games, you kind of have the layout, right? And then you just play, and that's really just the stage. That's what it is. Well, one thing that's neat is that it really has long stages. So you'll go from kind of area to area to area throughout the stage and unlock different parts as you go. And so I thought this was really cool too, where, you know, Pokemon Pinball, one of my other favorite pinball games, right? You know, you'll be in that same area kind of forever. You'll unlock some different bonus stages, some different extras, but you're really just in that stage the entire time. Where this, basically you'll transform and go throughout other aspects. So you need to open specific doors, so you need to hit certain areas, unlock parts, so go up to other parts. And so that was really cool to be able to see that and kind of travel throughout the stage. On top of that, another really cool aspect with this game is that there's actually boss fights. And so again, to my understanding, I don't think there's other pinball games out there like this, but definitely let me know in the comments below if there are. But one thing that I like about this game is that as you progress throughout the stage, you're going to have to collect the Chaos Emeralds, and then once you do that, you get to the point where you actually can have a boss fight. And so it's a kind of another puzzle-based fight where you have to figure out how to hurt the boss, where you have to hit the ball. To do that, where you hit Sonic, you know, as the pinball there, and then you take down the bosses as well before you can go to the next stage. And so that's another cool aspect to this game. It's kind of almost puzzle-based as well, where you need to hit different areas throughout the stage. You have to go through different orders. You can look around when you're not actually running and moving, you know, knocking the ball around as Sonic. If you're stopped, you can look up and down and kind of explore the stage as well, and maybe figure out different secrets or figure out what you have to do or how you unlock different parts of the stage. So I like that aspect to it as well. Now, it is very challenging, so that's something you really want to keep in mind, because you do have to figure out kind of these puzzles in advance. You have to learn how to hit the ball the right way, and then also not die, right, at the same time. And so one thing that I found too is kind of frustrating with the game is that even if you get really far throughout the stage, if you die, you kind of have to start the entire stage over. So you might have collected a couple different Chaos Emeralds, unlocked a different bunch of parts in the stage. Well, if you die and start over, you don't get to have those unlocked and just continue on. You basically have to start the entire stage over again. And so that's a little bit frustrating, because it's almost like you have to beat the entire stage on one ball, and it's almost like, well, what's the point of even having, you know, multiple balls? So it's like you don't get to continue to progress each additional ball that you get. You do keep the emeralds, which I guess is cool, but you're still gonna have to re-unlock everything to get to the area that you're at. I know for me, I've gotten to, you know, everything unlocked. All I need to do is make it to the boss and then end up dying in the meantime, and then basically have to start the entire stage over again. So that can certainly be frustrating as you're playing it. But thankfully, there is actually a code that you can use. Definitely don't remember off the top of my head, but just look it up, right? But there's a level select code that you can use to practice the other levels, or at least play through the other levels. So if you want to do it through one sitting, you can eventually kind of learn what you need to do, learn little tweaks, the intricacies of it, to get to that further area as well. But again, guys, let me know in the comments below if you have other good pinball games that you recommend. Like I said, a lot of them that I've played, I've never been super excited about, but I really haven't played a ton of them in recent years, so maybe they've come a long way with that as well. But definitely let me know in the comments below what your favorite pinball game is. If there's other ones that you like better than Sonic Spinball, better than Pokemon Pinball, let me know in the comments below as well. But definitely check out this game if you haven't yet. There's a ton of different places that you can play it. I know it's on like the GameCube, Sonic Mega Collection, obviously the game itself, Sonic Spinball. I'm sure they've probably released it in other different places as well where you can get your hands on it, but definitely recommend picking up Sonic Spinball if you like pinball games, or even if you don't like pinball games, you'll probably like this one because it's a lot different. There's a lot more to it than your typical pinball game as well. But again, guys, let me know in the comments below what you think, and then if you haven't done so as well, be sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on those bell notifications, as it really helps out the channel. And then you'll also get notified of upcoming videos that we do here to make sure you can play the best games and the best nerdy stuff out there. And then like this video as well, as it helps out the channel too. And if you'd like to, you know, help us pick videos, help us support the channel, help us get out content faster, definitely consider becoming a patron of ours over at nerdproblemsgaming.com/Patreon. Again, that's nerdproblemsgaming.com/Patreon. And if you'd like to plug into our Let's Plays and our live streams that we do over on Twitch, you can follow us there as well over at nerdproblemsgaming.com/Twitch. Again, that's nerdproblemsgaming.com/Twitch. But again, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you more soon.